What up, what up? Bankroll 10, bet it up. What up, y'all? I know it's been a minute. I'm putting up a lot of shorts, a lot of old stuff. Video quality ain't that good because it's old videos. You put it in a short mode and it crops it like that, so it's like real close and not enough of it. But anyways, my subscribers have jumped up, which I appreciate. Everybody appreciate all you. But yeah, so the frame for the box Chevy, boom. Things have been going a little slow. Got the upper control arms on there. I wasn't able to find the original spline head bolt that goes in here. So I put a set of these fine threads in here, but I put a lock washer on the side. And then this is a lock nut, so it's got the nylon in it. Boom. I'll be able to adjust from there. A lot of you guys might have seen this QA1 with this straight across bar right here. So I don't like that. The G-bodies are bumped up, but this is the original stop plate. If it was extended, I cut it off. So I give you, when you're sitting up higher, because 28, you get more travel. So that way you're not riding down there. The blue two-door Landau that couple months back had the short ball joint, which this is the Pro Touring, which gives you the longer ball joint, so it sits up. Better placement, better adjustability, more adjustability. So what I'm saying is that cutting that stop out and taking the stop off the bottom of the arm, you get more travel. Now when you're racing and stuff like that, you'd want to put this stop back in there so it would limit how far the front end would travel up, and then the wheels lean in when you're yanking the wheels and stuff like that. But anyways, again, QA1, top dog out there for control arms for the front, upper and lower. That's what you want, no matter what car it is. Old school box Chevy, same arms. Dunks, same arms, except for the size of the ball joint, how it goes in, whatever. QA1 has the dunk line now, 71, 76, Caprice or Impala. Boom. Then you got your 77 to 90, 96, whatever. Vikings, you get 2 nines per shock, control and rebound. Best bang for your buck. Box Chevys, 550 front spring, A225 front shock, bam. Where it bolts into the arm on the bottom, that's a 5/8 hole. And the arm, the QA1 arm, is a 1/2 inch hole. So they got these little sleeves that go in there, so that way you can use your 1/2 inch bolt instead of drilling the arm out to a 5/8 bolt. You can do it, but you can get the little sleeves that go in there to change that 5/8 hole to a 1/2 inch hole. 1/2 inch bolt goes right in there. Boom. Waiting on the body bushing kit. I figured since everybody's doing these frame offs and this and that, and this body bushing kit is available and this and that, well, Alex Trick Chassis, the other day I was talking to him and he pulled up a site, and I forget the name of it, sent it to me, I sent it to the customer, and I think something got lost in translation, because now he asked me in a text, but I didn't see it, to if I could order them for him. So I gotta hit him back, see what's going on with that. Boom. Winter Circle has the gearbox, Borgsen, something like that, which is the new gearbox. That if you look in that corner, that's the original gearbox, which is like 20-to-1, and it's the original, so it's not powder coated or anything like that. It's old, worn out. The rims were hitting the frame before on the 28. So put a brand new box on. You're doing a frame off, put a brand new box on. So gearing box, Borgsen, something like that. Borgsen, something like that is the name. If I'm jacking it up that bad, let me know in the comments. But then I'll put brand new bolts in there, get that on there. The lowers could have already been put in. I got them in the box sitting right over there. I just haven't had time to mess with this. The sway bar for the front is right there in the box on the floor. So that could also, lowers could go on, that could go on, boom. The back, I got the upper control arms on it. Had to run the drill bit through the hole, but we put the 9/16, so we got 9/16 upper bolts for the upper control arms. And of course, the sleeves, or the spacers in here, boom, are 9/16. Could have put a washer on there, but again, nobody's gonna see that. Uppers, boom. The tops right here, I went with a shorter. See, this gotta be, the powder coat has to be cleaned out of the hole, but that goes on there, and the nut goes on there with the nylon just enough to lock it. The other bolts that go in here are like way over here. But anyways, this is a shorter one that I got. So I just gotta clean that out. Gotta clean all the holes on the rear end jet, you know, and get that set up. But I'm waiting for the center section to get here. Another thing the customer is supposed to be bringing from, it's sitting over at Streetcar Headquarters. You know, Streetcar Headquarters, Chris and them, the team over there, Indiana, I'm pretty sure, I think it's Crown Point, Indiana. But they're doing the motor setup in it, and again, I don't know what motor's going in it. Obviously an LS, but besides that, I don't know. Not my thing. I can get the rear end set up in there, get the pig in it, put the rest of the bolts in the pig, get the anti-roll bolted up, boom. I just got the axles back because originally the rear end came in. It was a 60-inch setup. So I took the axles and I had 6 inches cut off each axle because it's 6 inches narrower than that, so it comes out to 48 inches. So cut and re-splined, and these are big boys. 35 spline, just so you guys can see. Boom. It's all done right. So yeah, there's more parts in here. The big brakes, bare. It's got the spindle and everything on there for the front. So once I get these lowers on here, which again, gotta clean the holes out. Lower control arm, clean them out, boom. Put the bolts in there. Frame is a little dirtier. Let's see if we can see this. Yeah, see that, boom. All the dust in here, the stuff that I do. So yeah, that's what's going on with the box Chevy. Besides, on the shorts, you can see that I have this tub up in there. Now, before anybody jumps the gun about them screws, the screws are to place it in place, and then if I have to move it, I draw the line and move it from the half moon this way, 12.5 inches. So any of you guys out here tubbing the cars, you buy the competition engineering tubs, and they're 38-inch for the box Chevys, because of the opening right there, all the way back there is basically 38 inches. So the tub fits good. So the tub part here, you cut it from that inside seam, you draw your line at 12.5 inches to fit a by 13. So it's by 12, so it's 13 overall, and to set your wheel in more. So that's the perfect size. So 12.5, you cut it. Then when you get it up in here, you make this cut, this angle cut. Again, I did not do this cut to the car. That was done like that before it got here. But you can see, got 2 screws holding it there, and 2 screws holding it there. And then once I start tacking, once I get it exactly where I want it, which this one is pretty good, the trunk is closed. It hasn't pushed the tub in at all. It doesn't touch the tub, and it's stuffed up in there. Excuse me. The wheel fit up in there perfect. When it was on the ground, I can set it as low as that. Once I get it all bolted up, get the frame back underneath here, I will show the car getting pushed out and in that everything clears. So yeah, that's what's going on there. The other side, the tub, I got it all trimmed exactly the same as I did the other side. And then I already formed it right there. So I originally cut that one at 13.25. Then I had to turn around and use the electric shears and cut off the other 3/4 of an inch. So then this one was drawn out, but it was never cut. So then I changed it to 12.5, boom. The back part of the tub right here, as you can see, I went wider because I cut that area out, and the brace, the way I'm gonna do the brace, I cut the stock brace because inside the trunk of these cars is real flat. So I cut it out more, the tub's gonna go to it. So that way this section would roll more and look more of a rounded tub than a flat tub. The bracing that I'm gonna do, boom, I got all that bullshit cut off of there. That's not 2 layers there, but so I'm gonna reinforce it in the top and make it stronger and shit like that. And see, you gotta go into the seat belt thing, which I was trying to grind it and get it all off of there so I could flex this straight. But it is pretty indented right here, like how it was pressed, how it was made. But anyways, this tub actually goes right up in there, and I just didn't have a chance to screw it in because I got other shit going on and I'm waiting for other things. So the body, what's left is getting that tub in there, making sure it's the same exact markups as that side, and then screw it, boom, do some tack and whatever. And when I cut that half moon, as you can see from the back, I can draw my line right with the car. And I'm gonna thicken up that top piece. I hate putting my hand in front of the camera because then it tries to focus on it, but it's gonna go right with the shape of the body. Boom, boom, boom. So that's where we are on this. Of course, that back part that's sticking down, you know, will get cut across and it end up being flush with the bottom of the trunk right there. Same thing with the front side, cut it across, boom. So yeah, that's what's going on with the white box Chevy going on the billets, the underneath. I went and I sprayed some oven cleaner all down underneath of it, let it drip. It dripped on my forehead and started burning. Like, if you guys ever use a stripper, I don't know why I used the oven cleaner other than it was in the bathroom. One of the houses I moved out of, there was a box in there. But anyways, it actually started to take the stuff off because this car was like undercoated a couple times. But as you can see, the white powder right here. So it was taking it off. So now that I run the grinder, the scuff pad or whatever, well, what I'm gonna end up doing instead of painting it underneath here with the rattle can, we all know that that doesn't stay hard enough, and within a year or so it'll start flaking. So I'm just gonna use the spray cans of the bed line, the hole underneath, once the tubs get in there and fitted and fully welded. Bed line all that, and then I'll probably end up bed lining the whole trunk. And the top part of the tub on this outer side to the other side of the tub, you can't see it from here, but there's a gap, and I'll actually take some spray foam, put some spray foam in there for sound deadening, to where you don't hear the rattle, if there is any rattle. Obviously he's gonna have bass in there, a sub box, this and that. Sound deadening, insulation, shit like that. Boom. It's okay to use that stuff as long as you use it right and in little areas and stuff. But all right, so that's that. This Monte Carlo right here is my buddy Clint from high school. Known him many years. Monte Carlo. Yes, it's not a true SS. I know guys are like, it's not a true SS. Obviously, it's got the chrome around the back window, stuff like that. He did this setup, UMI and Viking, which I do like the UMI bolt-in here for Gbodies because you get a lot of adjustment. You bolt into the stock hole. This lowers down to another hole, which puts this bar on a nice lower angle, which gives you more hook. He did use the tie bars from UMI, so it ties the lower to the upper. So now I gotta make a ladder bar cross member across there and tie into the lower right here. And then I'm gonna make, where it comes down from here, it's gonna have a bend here instead of in the middle. It's gonna bend here and bend there. So probably 10 inches from each side. And then I'm gonna put the removable pieces in there because he says if he ever has to take the exhaust off, his is fully welded. So we're gonna make it removable in the center right here, so that way, boom. Which are those little brackets that are 4 bolts. Got the frame knot kit he got from UMI, which is right there, boom. I'm gonna frame notch it, so I gotta cut the frame open, boom. And I'm gonna make those other pieces fit inside the frame rail and weld it from the top. You know what I'm saying? Not from behind it, not from in front of it, right on the edge. So you'll see the edge of this top part, and then the frame notch plate to be inside here, so to have a whole edge to weld to, and then of course I'll polish it up just a little bit. So with the ladder bar cross member going in here, the fuel pump is kind of in the way where the hose is here for the sidebars that I'm gonna put in the rails down the side. But we're gonna figure that out. We're just gonna twist the pump that way a little bit so it angles back. This will go up and be out of my way. I'm gonna do 2 bars off of this. So let's see. Ladder bar cross, we're gonna go across here, and then I'm gonna do a bar. Since I gotta bend it down anyways, I'm gonna do a bar from there into the side. Just like a triangulated area right here. It'd be more than enough for this car. Got a big block in it, 496. Got the UMI front arms. Gbodies, when you're running, you know, stock wheels or 22s, you can get away with these UMI arms. But again, you want the best ball joint geometry, location, all that. You want QA1 arms, boy. Got the fat sway bar in it. That would tell me, well, somebody had to put it on this car because the regular Gbodies, MCs, whatever, didn't come with this thick one. That's a bigger one, so more stability, road handling, shit like that. This car does not have a sway bar or an anti-roll on the back. He's not really worried about that. So him just gonna be track driving it, a little bit of street driving. He really don't need the front sway bar. So yeah, that's what's going on with this. Frame bracing, frame notch in the back. Took the axles out, which the axle is, you know, this is 8.5 Gbody rear end. It's not 7.5, it's 8.5. So, you know, Grand Nationals and 442 Cutlasses are the only ones that came with the 8.5 in it. But they have these real small axle tubes, you know, so this is like 7.5 axle tube because it's really, really, really small. We're gonna run the brace in from this corner. It's gonna go underneath, tie into the bottom of the housing, and go over there. That's gonna help strengthen that up some more. Maybe put a little fucking tie bar in between here to the brace, so it keeps this tighter. I'm probably gonna try to weld at least the bottom half of the tube in. I'll be able to get it all because I can get to it. So that's what's going on with this Monte Carlo SS. Very clean car. Oh yeah, no. Somebody was saying something about the floor pans. Yeah, so it does have pan replacement inside there. And the outside was a little rough. Dude's not building a show car. He's building a track car. You know, dude's right there with me, 47, 48, 49 right there. Works a full-time job, shit like that. And he just wants to be able to go to the track or go for a cruise and hit and shit. If you guys watch the shorts, you see like my son was driving it. And he was just hitting the gas. And come to find out, he just left it in third gear. So all the spinning all the way down the street, you never heard the car shift or nothing. The car was in third gear the whole time. Turbo 400 trans. So, Bbody got that torque. Got a 373 in it now. He says his cam calls for a 342. The tire rolled out, which the stock tire like 26 inches. The slick is a 26-inch slick. Those are on some Steelies. Or what are they called? Chrome nuggets or something. That's the backside of it. Some older slicks just for him to just throw on there, just to fuck around. So we need it braced up. The axles, that's what I was getting to, the axles. So these are 28 spline, Gbody, Grand National, or 442 axles. And if it's got 28 spline, obviously it's 8.5. If it was 26 spline, it'd be a 7.5. So he's got a true track center coming. Gonna go ahead and leave the 373 in there. That's on there now because it's all brand new. We took the fluid out. He says there's only seriously like maybe 500 miles on it. And the last couple miles was my son going up and down the street tearing it up. So the oil came out brand new. So true track, because it's only got that basic posi in there with the clutches. You don't want that, especially when you're throwing slicks on and shit. But the true track, and we're going 30 spline, and then stock Gbody length axles, which is what, 28.5, 28 3/8. So brand new axle. So you already ordered that from Mosier. The true track, or maybe you got the true track from Strange, I don't know. But anyways, all that stuff will be coming. We went with 3-inch studs, screw in, 3-inch half-inch screw in studs. There was no sense in going 5/8 studs on this car. The way the stock rim is set up, it'd be a motherfucker to get the 5/8 stud in there because it has a depth in the hole of the rim. So, you know, these are the Jag brand or whatever. So to make the spacer fit in here, which, yeah, you would use the fat one, but we'd have to have it machined down and all this. And then the way the 5/8 lug nut goes, this car would be fine with 1/2 inch. You know, the car's not a heavy-ass car. It doesn't have sounds in it. You know, he's not that type of person. This is a white boy car. White boy car. Like that means anything. But anyways, the trunk's just gonna be, you know, go to the track if he drives it on the, he's got a trailer though, but if he drives on those and he put the trunk, the jack in the trunk and the slicks in the trunk and stuff like that, or take it on the trailer, whatever. So yeah, Monte Carlo, boom. Still on hold for this because, like I said, I got the other white Cutlass out back that I'm gonna get the whole back floor out of, put in this. That's what's gonna, I'm trying to, for spring, have that thing completely done. Right here, we have a 12 bolt. This would be the second 12 bolt I did for the same guy. I already got the boxes in the place that I want them. Boom, both sides evenly, bam, bam, bam. So super drops. Gonna take 3 inches off the rear end, off of both sides to get the length that we want. This is out of like 67 Chevy, A-body. As you can tell, 12 bolts. This upper ear is really close to the housing, how it's shaped. It normally has this pan as the 12 bolt pan. The ring gear, obviously 12 bolts around it. But this one, that's a 308 gear. 308 gears coming off. He's leaving this posi because the posi was like brand new. We got the brand new gear. The bearing kit for the 12 bolt center section. Boom. Get all the bearings changed in there. You know, take that painted out. You reuse this yoke. Coilovers. So they're bolted in the car. So this is the bracket setup for it. Boom. We got 11 hole, plenty of adjustment for depending on what size shock he's got. If he's got a 10-inch shock, you know, it'd be up here more. If he's got a 12-inch shock, it'd be probably down here, or maybe even all the way down. These are 11 hole, which normally they're 9 hole. These are the fatter brackets, not the thin ones. I'm gonna bevel the edge, grind this whole edge, so that way when it welds on there, it'll be a nice long weld. This is centered, which is like 30, let's see, I wanna say this is 36. So I think this is 36 right here. And the top of the car is 34. I might have this at 34. And the top of the car might be 33 because it's bolted in the top. Got the degree wheel, so the buckets are on. The rear end's 90 degrees. That's basically 90 degrees. Rear end's 90 degrees. I know I should have electronic one. Bam. And this one, he likes to bounce around. So yeah, you can see it's all basically right at about 90 degrees. You don't have to be dead on, but you want to be real close. Yeah, shop's a mess. I've been trying to clean shit up. I had to clean all this stuff off, all the stock stuff on here. I had to clean it off. The customer had previously cut it. He was using cut-off wheels, and there were some cheap ones, and they were breaking and flying. So then he used the Sawzall. He got it pretty close, which helped out a lot. The end, when I put it back on, of course, when I clock it, so that way the caliper's down more. It doesn't need to be up more, which a perfect example of this style is this style. And see how high that thing sits up. So now if this car was narrowed, we'd have to fucking bring that down. So think about that. This rear end is going to be 3 inches shorter on each side, which will be basically 2 inches shorter for Gbody. So then that brings the caliper in more close to the frame. Boom. So I'm gonna clock it down. But what I was saying is the bracket setup that is, the rotors are in that box. The brackets are in the, see, that same style bracket setup where, you know, Gbodies bolt on with that big ass bolt on the top of how the Gbody, I don't know why they ever did that, just dumb. They should have just had the 4 holes in it, just like the full size. And as you can see how low this plate is compared to that. But how these spacers and stuff are. This kit is basically like that kit, except that kit bolts on to 4 bolts right here. But it takes a Gbody front caliper, so it's called, you know, it's a metric caliper. So this would be a front caliper. Any of you guys that buy these kits, don't get the e-brake style one. You can buy the brackets and then buy stock metric front calipers to put back here. Because the e-brake style ones have all that spring set up on here and this and that, and then that shit starts hitting the frame. And it's just a waste. There's no sense in it. And if you got a stick, if your car's a manual, and you got those brakes and you want to use that e-brake, no, just put you a valve in the rear line, like a kind of like a line lock. You push the brake pedal and then you hit the valve, so you can have the valve like underneath the seat. And they got those valves that are like a little lever, like 5 positions, but you can push the brake pedal and then you can lock the fluid so it locks the back wheels. And that could be a safety thing too, if anybody's trying to steal it, if the car's outside, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. People cry about the little stupidest things. Shit you don't even need. So yeah, 12 bolt, boom, getting narrowed, braced. I'm gonna brace, you know, like I always do, my brace. Maybe 1.5 inches too, boom. This rear end's gonna have the brace going the opposite way because obviously there's no super drop boxes or nothing. This stuff's staying on there, which is some heavy duty shit. And which is good with this is unsprung weight. So this weight is on the rear end, on the tires. So that would help what he's doing drag racing and at the track to drive the tire into the ground because you got more weight on the rear end itself. Boom. Up here I have another rear end, 9-inch out of a 75 vert, Caprice, Impala, whatever. And somebody already narrowed it, but it's coming up to 62.5 inches, axle flange to axle flange. They narrowed it, but I don't understand what they really did. They took off maybe a 1/2 inch to 1 inch off each side. So now dude's going with a 9-inch slip rim, which the 7-inch slip rim didn't even fit on the car. It barely fit on the car. It was touching the outside where the skirt goes, nasty. So taking 4 inches off of both sides, putting the super drop boxes on the back side, boom. And then he's got front bolt-in coilovers, so obviously, you know, box Chevy and Dunk, the shock goes in the front and the brackets go there. So we're putting the coilover bracket with the 9-hole that's gonna weld to the housing, and then it'll be able to go with that shock, bolt it right in. I'm gonna cut them cups off the top because there's no point in having those cups on there. This is why I order rear ends or have the customer order rear ends without this shit on there. This car and setup I think is out of Peoria, or maybe the owner's out of Chicago, I don't know, something like that. But it's a frame off build that has a beautiful frame done. It's tubbed. The tubs are done so perfect. The bodywork was all done. The underbody's painted, the inside's painted. It's a badass car. When it comes out, y'all are gonna know. So yeah, that's what that is. That's what I got going on there. Frame off, my first total frame off, which whatever. I don't do the motor and stuff like that. I never say that I do shit that I didn't do. I'm not that type. This poor car. Still haven't got the motor taken out of it. I need the motor to come out. I need to move the motor forward and up. So I need to put truck mounts on it. There's a solid Morochos. But I need to move it forward because when I put it in, I put it too far back. And I wasn't going turbos then, and now I got the turbos, and now I got the big ass turbo headers and all that shit. And they don't fit the upper control arm. What you see, I cut this one out. So now the motor's gotta come forward and up, and then I'll be able to fit the headers. A little bit of work on that. But yeah, all right, y'all. 28 minutes, 29 minutes of your life you'll never get back for wasting your time. And that's it. Bankroll tip, bad it up. I'm outies. Peace, y'all. Appreciate y'all too.